Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would have loved to welcome you at our premises in Brussels today, but due to the pandemic, Stiftung Entwicklung und Frieden, the Foundation for Development and Peace, had to switch the traditional policy lunch to the net once again. The benefit, we have participants from a lot of countries with us today, so maybe one of the lessons learned from these extraordinary times: let's make better use of the digital opportunities in the future, bringing people together. I used almost the same words welcoming you at SEF's policy lunch in November. However, November last year, the entire world was riding on the second pandemic wave. There was little hope for a change to the better, but a lot of uncertainty and concern. Today, there is light at the end of the very dark tunnel, and an opportunity to elaborate on first lessons learned. Ladies and gentlemen, today's policy lunch is about the EU, solidarity and global health cooperation. It is certainly not my aim to fully anticipate the content of this seminar. Let me just reflect on two terms that are cornerstones in this debate: joint action and access. First, joint action. Unfortunately, the pandemic has clearly shown a huge lack of cooperation between the EU member states. The sudden and unannounced closure of national borders did not stop the virus, but produced bizarre images and events which we will not forget. Our Prime Minister, Armin Laschet, as plenipotentiary for the Franco-German Cultural Affairs, will address the returning borders at a Franco-German conference this Thursday. As a very recent example underlining the confusion within the EU, one might look at the handling of certain vaccines like AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson. The European Medicine Agency, established as the EU's own think tank, advises us up to date to use these vaccines regardless of age and sex. But a lot of member states have established their own injection rules, as if Danes, Italians, Germans were a very different species. And there are many more bad examples of failed cooperation regarding public health in the pandemic. Secondly, access. We Europeans were so used to get the appropriate medicine just by entering a pharmacy. We never questioned the availability of treatment in hospitals or were worried about a lack of personnel and capacity. Due to the pandemic, suddenly a lot of people, including political leaders, realize that the origin of so-called active pharmaceutical ingredients, API, as the basis for drugs is important, that the location of production sites of medical devices and the funding of scientific research of new treatments matter, that the pharmaceutical industry is crucial, and that working supply chains are important. Ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget that access issue has a truly global dimension. It won't help that the US and European citizens are vaccinated soon. We can only try to contain current and future viruses by international cooperation. In this respect, the COVAX facility is a great achievement, but it is not enough. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of work lies ahead to overcome the pandemic and its social and economic consequences. Trust in our institutions needs to be rebuilt. But we also have seen a lot of solidarity during the crisis. Smart researchers have done more than their best in developing vaccines record-breaking speed. So let's not give up faith. Let's work together within Europe and globally. I wish you a fruitful policy lunch. Stay healthy and see you next time in Brussels again. All the best.